Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now the screen is visible.
Yes,
Hello.
screen is now you can start.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Good morning, good morning, students. So we will start. We will have the revision of the geography first lesson. Okay. The name of the lesson is field visit. So what is a field visit? So field visit is uh, uh, going visiting place and collecting the geographical and cultural information they visit to is a field visit. Now we will see the definition. Field visit is an educational procedure by which the learners obtain first-hand information by observing places, objects, phenomena, and processes in the natural setting. Means actually going to the place and getting the first-hand information from by observing the places and whatever the phenomena is happening over their procedure in the original form. So that is the field visit. Okay, we'll move to the next. Now, why the field visiting is important? Field visit is important study method in geography. Geographical concepts and elements can be directly experienced through field visit. So whatever geographical concepts are there, whatever the elements, whatever the natural elements are there, so we can directly by going visiting the places, we can directly get the experience. Field visits are extremely useful for understanding the correlation between humans and environment. So we humans are also a part of the environment, part of the nature. So how we are correlated with the environment, our nature. So by visiting the places, by having the field visits, we can understand more clearly. Create situational teaching for cultivating observational keenness and discovery. So when we directly go to that place, so it creates a situation. Means we are observing there and our eagerness, the eagerness of the students, curiosity is there, and to learn more, new things every time. Students are very happy. So whenever they go, we will have the field visit. The students will, the curiosity of the students is there, so they will be very curious to learn those things and discover new things. And many new things can be seen which they have not seen before. Means many new things can be learned. To serve as a means to develop positive attitudes, values, and specific skills. Now it serves as a means it helps to develop positive attitude. Means by having the field visits, a group of students goes there, so they have the positive attitude is developed over there. Their uh, one team spirit is there. Then the values, the different values, they learn over there. Then the specific skills, the skills those who are having, some of the students are having very good observation. This is the main thing in the field visit. They have to observe the environment. We will have the sample which is giving in the textbook of the field visit. We will also have the revision of that. So we will learn in more detail. We understand more detail. Planning and organizing. So whenever a field visits are, they have to be visit to a place. There has to be planning or proper organization should be there. So the planning and all are done most of the time by the teachers or higher authorities, and sometimes the group of children are also involved in that. So planning means there has to be the first, the place has to be decided, then the route has to be decided, then the transportation of the vehicles, how many students are going to be there, the number of students, and all reservation, or if they're going by the this thing bus or bus, then they have to be hire the bus, make available of the transport should be there. Then if the visit is going to be more than one day, then if it is going to be night over, then the accommodation, the lunch and all, everything has to be done. So these are the things when planning and organizing. All these things come under this. Now, field visit can be anywhere. It can be to a forest. It can be to a distant meadows. Now, meadows are what? Meadows are the part which is where animals graze there. You can say part of a hill, the grass greenery there. And can have a visit to industry, such as sugar industry, or when any product is produced over there, any type of industry. You can go to a museum. This
Hello, Pratibha ma'am.
So, what are the advantages of field visit? Field visit enriches the classroom learning. Okay. Then field visit provides an opportunity to the learner to get first-hand information from natural setting. So when the field trips are there, so what the field trip provides an opportunity to the learners. So the students or those candidates who are going to visit the having the field visit. So what they will have, they have the opportunity to get the whatever the information they get the first hand. So in the classroom, what happens? Whatever the teacher is teaching, they have to imagine and then have to misunderstand it, try to understand it. But when they go to the actual place, they get the first hand information from the natural setting, in the natural environment. They learn it in more better way, and whatever is there, they understand it in more better way. Field trips help learners to learn things very quickly and remember them for longer of time. So when they are actually visiting the place, that helps them to think whatever the things they are seeing over their observations are doing. So they get the quick, they get the learn them quickly, and they also remember them it for a longer time. So the monotony and burden of classroom teaching is eliminated through field visit. So sitting in the classroom and learning the every time the same method, uh, visualizing everything and just learning from the textbook is very means that burden is there on the children. So this eliminates the field visit, eliminates that burden. Okay, now we will see in our textbook there is a sample field visit they have explained. So we will have the revision on it. So the in the textbook there is a field visit is planned from Naldur to uh, Alibag. So From Naldur, it goes in between. It goes to the Ujjaini. So here it is shown directly Pune and then Alibag. Wait, one another. No, it will not come. Okay, let. So wherever any field visit is planned over there or organized, so what we have to do, what we have to observe when you are going to a field visit. So with the help of the following points, you have to observe those things. So first thing is the relief, then the water bodies, whatever the water bodies are associated with it, then the vegetation, what type of soil it is, then agriculture, what type of farming, what plants are there, which plants they are, which cereals or crops they are growing, what type of agriculture they are practicing, then human settlement, then settlement patterns. So these are the things you have to observe whenever field visits are there. So you will see relief is related to the topology of the landforms, the various landforms, the slope, the highland, then the hilly regions and all. Then water bodies, you all know, the rivers, the any lake surrounded, ocean, anything. Those are the water bodies. Then soil. There are type of soil, black soil, red soil. That soil we have to observe which type of soil and which crops are grown in that soil. Then the vegetation. Vegetation means the whatever the forest cover is there. So that is vegetation. Which type of plants are grown over there and what type of flowers are there and all. Then agriculture. Then agriculture means which type of plants are grown over there. It depends according to the depends on the climatic conditions, especially on the rain availability of irrigation. Then human settlement. How is the how the settlement is there? Whether it is concentrated, whether it is pairs or how is the settlement. Then the settlement pattern means how the houses are there, how are the houses built, and what type of pattern they are having, whether they are concentrated on one place or they are means they are linear, means all the way they are in the horizontal line, vertical line, how the patterns are there. Okay. Now, why the field? What are the field visit preparation? Whenever you are going for the field visit, so what are the preparation you have to do? You have to first select the place. Then after the place, what is the purpose? Why you have to go there? We will see this further. Then list of the things, whatever you have to carry. Whenever you are going to the field visit, you have to carry the important things are there that I will be explaining you. Then the questionnaire. What is the questionnaire now? Questionnaire is a set of questions. So that questions you have to make a questionnaire and you have to try to find the answers of that questions. Then authorization letter. Authorization letter means what? Whenever you are visiting any factory or any government office means it is, so if you are visiting the government office, so you have to get the permission of the officer over there. And if you are going to the factory, you have to get the industry or factory, you have to get the permission of the owner of that industry or factory. So we will see further now. Now what things you have to carry? These are the things you can see in the picture. There is a bag, water bottle, I-card should be there. Then a map should be there. So you have to travel and so you have to know how you're going. Is with the map you can recognize where are you now when you're traveling. Then camera should be there, binocular should be there, so that you can see the distant objects or any things which are far away you can see. Then diary should be there, so anything observation or anything you have to note down, you can note down in the diary. Then compass should be there. Compass is used for the direction, so you can know the direction, which direction you all are going. Then cap should be there to protect yourself from the sun. Then first aid box. Now why first aid box should be there? If any uh, means any wound or any this thing has medical emergency is there, so you can use it. So that a first aid box should be there. So now what are the objectives? Now what are the objectives means that we have seen. Now what are the purpose of field visit? So field visit is an experience taken by the students The main objectives are, what is the main objective? As the students are going for the field visit, obviously the education is the main objective. The main objective of any field visit is education. To learn practically about the different institute, to enhance our knowledge. Field trips also offer students and teachers the opportunity to interact outside of the classroom. Yes, this is there. So when what is the, along with the education also, you are getting an opportunity to interact with the outside the classroom, means the people where you are going, the you are able to interact. You are, means you can know by interacting what are the traditions over there, means what type of dressing, and you can get the more information about that particular locality wherever you are visiting. And practically you are getting the see, to learn practically about the different institute, means if you are visiting any factory or any this thing industry, so practically you are getting the information, same means looking with your eyes, and uh, you are getting the this thing practical experience over there. Okay, so now what, field visit. Field visits or excursions known as field visit is a journey by a group of people or student to a place away from their normal environment. Yes, the group of people or student, they are going to a place away from the normal environment. Field visit is a trip by students to gain first-hand knowledge away from the classroom to a museum, factory, geological area, or environment of certain plants and animals. Yes, to a museum, factory, away from the regular classroom. They are moving away from the classroom. They can be moved to the museum, factory, or any geological area or environment where there are certain different plants are there, animals are there. The purpose of the field visit is usually observation for education, non-experimental research, or to provide students with experiences outside their everyday activities, such as go campaigning with teachers and their classmates. So everyday activities, rather than the daily schedule, whatever the daily activities are there, different that activity that can be done over there. Campaigning, you can get tracking, and that can be done. The field visit aim to provide an inquiry field experience on geographical landforms, means geographical landforms, different landforms are there. Then the features, what are the features, you can say the qualities, whatever the different features are there, art forms, the culture, then the biodiversity of natural environment. Biodiversity means different animals, the insects, different plants, variety of this thing, natural vegetation is there. Okay. Now, when you are moving from Naldur to Solapur, so what you are experiencing, the relief is undulating topography. Somewhere in between, we can find plains. Means the landforms are different. Means not they are not uniform. They are, sometimes it is high, sometimes it is low, and sometimes they can form hills, slopes. Then they can find the plain. So, and the vegetation is semi-arid region. Semi-arid means not too much water is required for that vegetation, and not very less the water is required. Means minimum water is required to survive for the plants. Shrub crops and sugarcane fields. Shrub crops means small crops. Uh, they are not very too long in the height, like trees. And sugarcane fields. Sugarcane fields also you can find there. And the settlement is linear settlement. Now, what is a linear settlement? The houses are in a line, in a horizontal line. So either they have explained in the textbook that when they were going traveling by the bus, the students were told to means have observation from the both side of the road. So they have found that the houses are, as they move from the Naldurg, the houses are on the both side of the roads and in the line. So it is a linear settlement. So human settlements now, mud and wood houses. The houses are made up of wood and mud, that they are called dhabyachi ghare. Now we will see in detail now what are those. Means the houses which are made up of mud and straws. The walls are made up of those, and the roof is made up of wood. So they are no, they are very. You can say they are kacha houses where there na you must have heard this word kacha house. So such type of houses are those houses. Dhabyachi ghare they are called. Now you can see in the picture. This is a this is a waterfall at Naldur. The name of the waterfall is Narmadi waterfall, and it is at Naldur. As the field visit, we are starting from the Naldur, so there only this is the waterfall. Then we have seen now only the Dhabyachi ghare. This type of houses, those are they are very ordinary houses, very simple. Now, as you move from uh, Naldur, so then you can see when you are reaching the Solapur. So human settlement is multi-stored buildings and shopping malls, big restaurants are there. So Solapur is a city. So many buildings are there, stores, multi-store buildings are there, shopping malls are there, big restaurants are there, and the settlement pattern is concentrated. So concentrated on one area means many houses you can see in particular area. And agriculture, sugar farming is observed everywhere. Mostly the sugar is only seen in the field. Now you can see the picture. This is the picture of the Solapur city. So you can see there are very wide roads are there. So you can have a look on this. This is the Solapur city. Now this is the sugar cane field. These are the sugar cane, and in the Solapur you can find the sugar cane fields everywhere. Now, as you move further, you go to from Ujni to Siagarh. Now, as you move from Ujni, the relief it is a plain region, and vegetation over there is you can see the trees of Anjan, Banyan, and people trees. Means Anjan means you must be knowing that Anjir is their common name, and Banyan tree you all know, and people trees also you all know. Okay. Now this is the Ujni Dam. So many multi-purpose projects are there. This is used for irrigation purpose, then drinking water, then it is used for production of electricity also. Now this is Siagarh Fort. When we are going to the Siagarh, this fort is there, and many people are visiting over there. So this is the Siagarh Fort. This is on the hill. This is not on the plain. You have to climb up, and this is on the hill top. Then the next one, this you can see. This is the Khadakwasla Dam. It is in the Pune. This is also one of the source of drinking water for the Pune city people. Then when you reach to the Siagarh Fort, so the relief. So how was the topography? Rugged topography with hills and higher altitudes. So rugged means not uneven it is, with hills and higher altitude. Means height is higher. Climate is cloudy. Cultivation is paddy crops. So as the rainfall is there in this near the Siagarh, so paddy means rice. So rice cultivation is there. You can see in the picture. This is the picture of the rice cultivation. How the people are so means planting the plants. So when you move further, then you reach to the Lonavala, and from Lonavala to Khopoli. Now when you move from Lonavala to Khopoli, the vegetation there is dense forest is there, And again, the agriculture is paddy fields, means same. Rice are grown there. Rice is grown there. Weather is hot weather. So as you move from Lonavala downside, the weather becomes hot. So in the near the Lonavala, Khandala, the Western Ghats, you can see the dense forest is there. Teak, mainly the teak trees are found. These are deciduous forest. These trees share their leaves in a particular season. So they are deciduous forest. Now this is a Rajmachi point, Rajmachi fort. You can say it is in the as you move further from the Lonavala, it is there. Okay. So the when the field visit is they have completed the first day. So where they have visited? The places visited is Nandurg, Solapur, Ujni Dam, Indapur, Urli Kanchan, Hadapsar, Siagarh Fort, and Pune. Then what type of cultivation they have seen? Cultivation of pulses, sugarcane, paddy cultivation. Then significant observation, variation, topology, and change in vegetation. Different type of topology, different type of landforms are there, and vegetation is also different. Cultivation of the we have seen that if from Naldurg there was cultivation of pulses was there because that required little less water, and then irrigation facilities were there in Solapur, near Solapur and Solapur, so sugarcane was there. And further we moved, then there was a more rainfall, so paddy cultivation was. Then type of settlement patterns, mud and wood houses were there, as we saw moved from the Naldur. Then multi-stored houses, shopping malls, hotels, and linear settlements, concentrated settlements were there in near the Solapur area and Solapur you can. And the day to now, when the places visited places are Pune, Lonavala, Khopoli, and Alibag. And what is the significant observation? That is variation in climate. Climate is changing. Type of cultivation is horticulture, farming. Horticulture means fruits and vegetables are grown. Horticulture farming. Paddy cultivation, you already know that rice is cultivated. Some settlements are settlements are there. Settlement patterns, concentrated settlements are seen, and linear settlement. Concentrated settlement and type of the this is linear. Okay. Mm, okay. So Naldur to Solapur, undulating topography is there. Then uh, Ujli to Siagarh plain region. Then Siagarh rugged topography with hills and higher altitudes we have seen. Then Khopoli to Alibag coastal plains are there. So near the sea. Alibag is near it is near the sea, so coastal plains we have seen. Then linear settlements we have seen in Naldur to Solapur. Mud and wood houses you have seen over there. Then in Solapur, sugarcane fields you have seen, linear settlement and concentrated settlement, multi-stored buildings and big hotels you have already seen this. And paddy cultivation is from Siagarh to Khopoli, means from Lonavala to Khopoli also and Siagarh also. And horticulture, farming, paddy cultivation, and this is practiced to Khopoli to Alibag and concentrated settlement. Okay. So what is a field visit? So now we will have a look. What is a field visit? Collecting geographical and cultural information by actually paying a visit to a particular place is called field visit. What type of information of a field can be collected by field visit? So what type of information you can get from a field? Geographical, social, economical, historical, cultural, etc. Type of information of a field can be collected by field visit. So geographical related any information, socially how the social society is there, economically means how we what type of standard of living is there, historical monuments and the culture. This type of information you can get collect by the field visit. What type of photographs will you click with respect to field visit? So when you're going to the field visit, what type of photographs you're going to click? So photographs of the crops, animals, birds, soil, rock, trees, houses, etc. with respect to field visit. So this type of the natural vegetation, you can click the photographs of that, animals, birds, then the type of soil, which type of soil it is, rocks, which type of found, trees which are found, houses, how what type of settlement is there. So you can have the pictures, click the pictures of those. During field visit, how will you obtain various types of information? During field visit, we will obtain various types of information by observing facts, interviewing concerned officials, and studying the documents available at the selected field. So you can get the information of type of information, that is observing the facts, interviewing concern. Means if you're going and there, you can have the interview of the officers. You can ask many questions whichever you are having. Study the documents, whatever the documents. Suppose you are going to visit a talati office, so what type of documents are there, you can see the documents over there. What are the indicators of difference in precipitation? Now how you can know? What is the question, meaning of the question? Means means by what are the indicators of difference in precipitation? Means how you can know that the precipitation means you all must be knowing. Precipitation is what? Different types of precipitation, rain, that snow and all, the snowfall and all those, means water form. So how you can do, what indicates that there are how the precipitation is there? Vegetation structure of the houses, how the vegetation is there, from that means how the plant the forest is thick or how it is dried, or what type of vegetation is there. And the structure of the houses, if it is very the region is heavy rainfall, the houses will have the roof will be slope will be there. Then custom of the people, so the people, what are the traditions of the people, how are the dressings and that, the then which customs are they are following and everything, which god they are worshipping, people, etc. are the indicators of differences in the sorry, what are the diet means what they are eating every day, what they are eating. uh, we are having lunch and all, lunch dinner. So some regions, what is evidently found, they mostly have that food only. So those people staying near the seashores and all, so what the basically they are having the food, the fish will be the stable food of there. They will have the fish every day, means mostly they will have that. So from that also you can know the this thing, type of precipitation. Okay, explain the following terms. Now we will see now what are the following terms. Now Devrai means what? Now Devrai is a dense but well managed plantation generally on the outskirts of the villages. Devrai is a pretty old concept and references can be found in old literature. The famous Devrai of Maharashtra is Sahyadri Devrai. Now Devrai is a what? Is a dense forest area, you can say. Dense vegetation is there near the outskirts of the village, means around the village. Devra is a pretty old concept and references can be found in the old literature. In the old literature, you can find the description of the Devrai. Means this word Devrai and information regarding this you can find in the literature. The famous Devrai of Maharashtra is the Sahyadri Devrai. Now Sahyadri ranges is from where to where? Your Western Ghats. You can say as you leave the Siagat and you move in front, okay, from the Lonavla, Khandala, that side, you can say that is the Sahyadri ranges over there. Then the irrigation. Now, what is irrigation? The application of controlled amount of water to plants at needed intervals is called as irrigation. Landscapes and plants, the application of controlled amount of water require plants at needed interval is called irrigation. Means the especially in the this thing rural areas, you can say, where the agriculture is practiced. So the whatever the crop is grown over there, that needs water after interval of time. Means after a particular period of time they require water. So that is called irrigation. So watering the plant in a controlled manner, that is irrigation. Irrigation helps grow agricultural crops, maintain landscape, regenerate disturbed soil in dense areas, and during periods of less than average rainfall. So when the rainfall is less, then the vegetation of that particular area will be, means they will be very less trees will be surviving. So those areas after the agricultural, so maintain those areas green, so that they can, those plants and trees can at least survive. So the water is made available, that is irrigation. Now, what is geographical concept? It helps the explore of relationship and connections between people and both natural and cultural environment. Means you are exploring, means you are more discovering, you can say, or you are more getting the information, the relationship between the, or the connection between the people and the natural environment and the cultural environment. Means natural environment and man-made environment, the relation between those two is called geographical concept. It provides a framework that geographical use interpret and represent information. So whatever the correlation between the people, means people and the natural environment, we are a part of a natural environment. So the relation between the man-made, whatever the man-made has made the his own this thing, the houses and all this is made man-made. So man-made environment is that, and natural environment. So it provides the framework that geographical use can be used to interpret and represent the information. Now prepare a questionnaire for a field visit. Now, how will you manage the litter during the visit? Now, when you're going to the field visit, the very important question this is. It has asked in the board exam also. So, how we are going to manage the litter during the field visit? So, when you're going to field visit, what following things you have to consider: carry container, bag, dustbin to collect litter dumped on a field. So, whatever you're going to eat there, or whatever wrappers or everything is there, so that you should not throw over there. You should take a carry bag or bag or a dustbin, so that you can collect whatever you are wrappers and all this thing rubbish you are going to throw there. You don't have to throw there, you have to collect and bring it. Informing everyone to not to dump trash waste on a field during the field visit. And if, even if you have not thrown, if any thing is there fallen, the wrappers or anything, then you have to collect them in the bag, and tell, and if anyone is there, you have to make aware them that you don't have to throw the waste over there. Create awareness about cleanliness using charts, banners on performing street play, etc. So by creating awareness, means you are by the street play. You all must be knowing the street play. A group of people are there. Uh, they are playing the characters and trying to create awareness about any particular topic. You can say. Uh, so you have to create the about the cleanliness using the charts and banners. The charts are there. Something is written over there. Good thoughts are written that you have to do this, and that banners are there. And with the help of street play, you can create the awareness. informing and requesting officials of local corporations for taking immediate remedies, actions against litter waste upon the field. If any waste or litter is overdumped over there on the field, you have to immediately inform or request the officer, whoever is concerned, the officer or the office is there of the local body. So you have to tell them and they will take the action for them. Remedial will be there. Now, what items will you take with you for the field visit? Now, you have seen in the picture already. So, what items you have to take? A notebook should be there, pen, pencil, scale, camera, etc. to collect the information. Compass for knowing direction and map for understanding various locations. So, compass is used for directions and map. So, how you are actually going. So, from the map where you actually now you can know with the help of map. Questionnaire as per the purpose of field visit. So you have to prepare a questionnaire before going to the field visit so that you can get the answers of those questions. Container or bags for collecting samples of water, soil, rock, plants, crops, etc. Also a cap, a bottle of drinking water, first aid box, etc. So I've already told this that you have to take a cap, bottle for drinking water, first aid box, etc. And if you want the sample, you have to take the small bags for collecting the soil, then the water, this type of small containers you can take if you want the sample. Now outline the importance of field visit. The importance of field visit can be outlined with the help of following points. Field visit helps in understanding various geographical concepts. By field visit, you can get the different geographical concepts whichever there, which you will understand more clearly. Elements and process through direct personal experience. It helps in understanding the correlation between human and environment, how we are related with each other, environment and humans. We can find out, we can understand. It helps in enhancing the understanding and sensitivity about the historical, economic, social, cultural facts about the selected field. So we can know about the sensitivity, we can understand about the historical, economic, or social culture, cultural facts of the wherever the selected field we have gone there, wherever the particular locality or area we can understand in more detail. It makes the study of geography more interesting and support the application of knowledge. So when we learn anything through field visit, we will take more interest in that and support the application of knowledge. So whatever knowledge we get, we try to remember it. Means we are interested in what we are learning through field visit. Now, what is the Habachi Ghara? That we have seen the houses. The Habachi Ghara or mud and wood houses are made up of earthen mixed with water and organic materials such as straw or dirt. The roof is made up of wood. So, whatever the walls of these houses are made up of mud uh, and wood, means straws of plants, the stems of the plants can be used, and then the material or the cow dung can be used, and the roof is made up of wood. Straw is useful in binding the bricks together, allowing the bricks to dry evenly, thereby preventing cracks due to uneven shrinkage through the brick. Dung offers the same advantage. Okay, so whatever the bricks are there in building the walls, so because of the straw that binds together and shrinking, what the shrinking of the bricks takes place, that happens evenly. The houses are built in the low rainfall areas, Maharashtra, example, the Vidarbha, Marathwada. Oh, yes, these houses are particularly found in the low rainfall region only, because if they are in higher rainfall region, these houses can means they will no more be there because of the heavy rainfall. They will collapse. So low rainfall area, these houses are there. Now correlate pulse cropping with low rainfall. Pulses like tur, urad, chauli, gram, etc. are grown Pulses use less water than other crops. Yes, where the low rainfall is there, the pulses can grow there because they require less water. They increase uh, soil health as the rhizobium bacteria found in its roots help in nitrogen fixation through. Yes, so this is very important. You must have seen in the science that rhizobium bacteria is there, which is when we grow to remove these pulses, this bacteria is there in the root of the this plant, so they help in fixation of nitrogen and the quality of the soil is it becomes more fertile. Pulses also take lesser time to grow as compared to other crops. Yes, they grow more faster than the other crops. The pulses and low rainfalls are directly related with each other. Yes, by this the pulses and these are directly related to each other. Where you see the pulses, you can now directly say that there is a low rainfall in that area. Obtain information regarding multi-purpose projects. Now dams are built not just for irrigation but electricity generation, water supply for domestic. Yes, they are not built for only for irrigation, not for only providing the water to the agriculture, but for generation of electricity also, water supply for the domestic means for the humans, the settlements, and for the industrial means the factories and all those require water. Flood control also. This is also main important reason. When heavy rainfall is there, flood conditions occur. So because of the dam, the that will be controlled. Recreation, inland navigation. Inland navigation is what means within the not crossing the this thing within the same, you can say, state, or it is means suppose river is there. So from this village to that village, you can use that river for inland navigation. That is. Then fish breeding is also done. Hence, dams are referred to multi-purpose projects because it is having a multi-purpose project can be carried out through the building of dam. Many uses of these selected waters are done. Example: Bakranangal multi-purpose project dams on river Satluj, Jayakwadi multi-purpose project on river Godavari. So these are two dams. Vegetation is an indicator of difference in precipitation. What are the other indicators of difference in precipitation? Now, vegetation is most important, as we have seen. Now, only the example, the pulses are directly related to the where the rainfall means irrigation facilities are low. There, pulses can be grown. So, crops grown in particular regions can be one of the indicator of precipitation. Yes, we have seen now only rising temperature, increasing drought, the amount of water in lakes, rivers, and streams indicate the difference in precipitation. Now temperature is rising, then droughts, you all know, very less water is there, means limited water use is there in that condition, or no rainfall means very little rainfall or no rainfall, you can. And then amount of water, how much is present in lake, rivers, streams, that also indicate the difference in precipitation. Means how much rainfall is there in that particular area, you can know by the looking at the lakes, rivers, streams, etc. Texture and color of the soil, humidity in the soil, etc. indicators of precipitation. Yes, texture of the soil also. If it is means the irrigated agriculture means fertile soil is there, that is the texture of that is very different from the other which is bare lands and where the agriculture is not practiced. The color of the soil also differs. Black is there, red is there. Humidity in the soil. Humidity is very important. If the humidity in the soil is more, humidity, then the whole water holding capacity is there. Then humidity in the air also, where the humidity is where more in the areas near the sea. Is near the seashore, the humidity in the air will be more. Humid climate will be there. As the temperature rise, more people will need to keep cool by using air condition, which uses a lot of electricity. The consumption of energy is another indicator of precipitation. Yes, this is also a very good example. By as the temperature is increasing, people will start using the air condition and all. Electricity will be needed more. So energy consumption is also one of the indicator of precipitation. Animal life can also be affected if the climate is no suitable to. Too wet is there, or too dry is there or too cold is there in the winter. So the animal life is also affected. So it should be in proportionate. Too wet or too dry, too cold in the winters, plants and animals that depend upon them for food and habits will struggle or die. So the animals are dependent on the plant. So if the vegetation is not there in particular that area, so the animals will also not able to survive them. Okay. Hmm. So any questions? Hello.
Hello, ma'am.